and more. Here's Joe Girardi in the manager's report, brought to you by Geico.
I thought it was magnificent. I don't really imagine how you could do it any better than what they did. Being a visiting ballpark, it was special, and it was really enjoyable to watch.
Bruce.
Joe, what do you think about the overall respect that they displayed for her?
You know, I started thinking about how great this rivalry has been over the years, and all the things that have happened, the playoff games and everything. And I don't know how many people could really unite a crowd like he did today. Such big rivals, so much history between the teams, but you would have thought that it was one team in a sense today. And I don't know how many players can do that in any sport. But I think it shows you the respect he has, even against your toughest rival. The fans united, and it was pretty special.
Barry.
Joe, a couple of things. Number one, you looked like when he got the base hit, you were looking down there to see what do you want to do.
Right.
Right, so you didn't even know at that point?
Well, I had talked to him, and I think this tells you more about Derek Jeter than a lot of things. He had a chance to tie a record today. He had a chance to tie Ty Cobbs' record of 150 hits for 19 seasons. Didn't mean a whole lot to him. He's all about winning, and obviously we're going home, and he's very sad, and we're all sad, but it's never been about him. It's been about the rings and going out and playing winning baseball, and that's why, you know, when I told him this morning, he doesn't like to know about, you know, records that he's breaking. I told him this morning, I said, Jeet, I feel like it's my obligation to tell you, if you get 2 hits, you'll tie Ty Cobb. And he's like, well, let me just get 2 hits, my first 2 ABs. So then when he lined out to Weeks, everyone was yelling at him. Our whole dugout was yelling at him in a sense. But, I mean, he just did what came natural to him. But he didn't really care about it. You know, he said, this is the way I want to go out, and this is how I'm going out.
How do you think the whole 4 days went? I mean, from the day at the stadium to this, it really couldn't have worked out any better.
No, I mean, the only way it could have worked out better is if we were playing next week. But from an emotional standpoint, I think there's a lot of joy in his heart. But I think there's sadness as well. But I think he was emotionally drained. And he's done a really good job of focusing on what he needed to focus on, and that was winning games during the course of this. But as we got here, he let his guard down a little bit, which couldn't have been easy for him, but he did it.
Joe, I don't know if you have, was this concrete, or was it your understanding Derek was only going to do a couple of bats today?
Yeah, 2. That was it. But
and even if he had gotten out, he wouldn't have obviously had that chance to have that wonderful tribute. But that's the way it was going to be.
I think that's probably, you know, I said to him, I'm going to check with you each at bat. Okay. And I said, if you get the first at bat, I'm going to look at you. And you got to tell me what you want. So he was done.
Joe, what's it meant for you to manage that? You also play with this.
Obviously, I got a lot of great stories to tell my kids and my grandkids as time moves forward here, but it's been a blessing. To play along such a great player, to manage a guy that is what you want in every player. What you want every player to care about, what you want every player to fight for, what you want every player to do. It's been a real blessing.
Joe in the back on your left.
Joe, as a hitter, what is taught for being on third base in less than 2 outs? What's your job?
You know, it depends on the situation. But in that situation, you know, the infield is in and you're trying to hit a fly ball, but at least you have to put the ball in play. At least you have to put the ball in play and to give yourself a chance to get the run in. And that's exactly what he did.
In those moments, I guess, for final at bats, we think
too. Do you think that was kind of symbolic? I mean, he almost blew out his hamstrings in
Yeah.
the English game on Saturday, and then today, beating another.
It's
more emblematic of maybe what he.
Yeah, it's just who he is. He plays hard. Every day he played hard. And it's a grind. And you want to say it's easy to do that, but from a mental standpoint, it's not easy. But he has found a way to do it for 20 years. And I think that's why you see the respect and why he's so adored around the country.
The back on the right.
Wow. It's probably him coming off the field. And I would say the way the people united. I mean, there's been a lot of, in a sense, ugly times in this rivalry. Things that you wouldn't necessarily want everyone to see. But for one day, everyone came together.
Anyone else? Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, so there's